And they're saying, oh, no, thank you. That's all right. I'll just continue with my devotional service. That means they already have something that is just as good or even better. Well, what could be better than liberation? And this is what I'm trying to tell you. Pure devotional service. Pure devotional service, Kevala Bhakti, is beyond even the concept of liberation. By beyond, I mean it gives more satisfaction to the soul. Gives more bliss, more ecstasy. And that's why the pure devotees, even though they are offered liberation from material existence, they don't accept it. Why? They already have something better. That is rasa. We keep talking about this rasa, and the essence of Nectar of Devotion is the science of rasa. And this science of rasa is actually explained in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, but in the form of stories. Whereas Nectar of Devotion is an actual analysis of the science of rasa in terms of the different flavors of relationship with the Lord, the different types of emotions or bhavas experienced by the devotees, the different stages of ecstasy, and so on. So all this is going to be explained by Sri Rupa Goswami in the subsequent chapters of Nectar of Devotion in order of the stages of devotional service, from the very beginning of regulated devotional service, Vaidhi Bhakti, all the way up to the highest stages of bhava and prema and mahabhava and so on at the end. So we're going to go through this whole science of devotional service step by step from the very beginning. Like chapter 2 is the qualifications or eligibility of the candidate for devotional service. And now he's talking about how wonderful pure devotional service is because it surpasses even liberation. Try to understand. There's different classes of Vedic literature. The 4 Vedas themselves and their ancillary works mainly talk about the 3 modes of material nature. And then the Upanishads introduce the concept of liberation, but they don't explain it fully. So the Vedas then, they mainly explain the process of karma, fruitive activity, cause and effect, and the performance of Vedic sacrifice being activities in the mode of goodness that bring one to the stage of purification. And that's purification. One can understand or begin to understand the process of liberation from material existence, which is offered in the Upanishads as philosophical speculation. But then the rasa shastras, or the scriptures dealing with the science of devotional service, they explain the actual method and its results. Bhagavad-gītā, which is part of Mahabharata, also Ramayana, and especially different Puranas up to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, or the Bhagavata Purana, which is considered the supreme Purana and the supreme Vedic scripture, explains all these things in the form of stories, the narrations of the activities of the Lord in relation to his devotees. And so anyone can understand by reading the stories what is the procedure, what is the process to attain the favor of the Lord. But this is not analyzed, it's not given in a systematic way or scientific way. Nectar of Devotion is the first and really the only or main scripture that analyzes the science of rasa strictly according to the pastimes of the Lord revealed in the scriptures. In other words, there are some other rasa shastras, for example, Bharata, Natya Shastra, and like that, introduce the system of rasa. But they don't take the time to actually analyze. They indicate that it can be done, but they don't actually analyze the pastimes of the Lord according to rasa. That is left, as it is said, as an exercise for the student. Unfortunately, nowadays people have lost most of their intelligence. In Kali Yuga, we're not very smart. We're not very pure either. So we tend to lose the ability to analyze things and figure them out. Here, Rupa Goswami has done us the service of taking the pastimes of the Lord described in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and analyzing them very minutely to bring out the underlying system of rasa. And of course, this is an ongoing project because there's a huge amount of information to process, and one can analyze different pastimes from different points of view, or the points of view of different devotees involved in that pastime, and see how the Lord actually relates to his devotees in multiple flavors or multiple emotions of rasa simultaneously. The Lord is very intelligent, and he can do many things with each activity. So we can see by learning this process of rasa analysis from Rupa Goswami in the Nectar of Devotion, how to actually understand the pastimes of the Lord in terms of his relationships with his devotees, and how he accomplishes multiple purposes and multiple flavors of love simultaneously. It's really quite wonderful and very amazing. So one should read or hear Nectar of Devotion from the point of view of understanding the whole sweep of the Shastra, the whole conclusion of the Vedas. The Vedanta Sutra is divided into 4 parts. Vedanta means the conclusion or the end of the Vedas, or the ultimate knowledge of the Vedas. And in the first 2 adhyayas, the first 2 sections, first, Vyasadeva presents the basic philosophy of the Vedas. In the second adhyaya, he defeats the nonsense misinterpretations of the Vedas. In the third adhyaya, he presents the process of devotional service, and in the fourth, he describes the results. But even there, he does not present an analysis, a detailed analysis of the different flavors of devotional service in terms of the emotional colors of relationship between the devotees and the Lord. This is only in Nectar of Devotion and subsequent works in the same line by other advanced devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya gave that knowledge to Rupa Goswami specifically, and then Rupa, he gave that knowledge in the form of quite a few scriptures, both in narration form, narratives, stories and plays, and in analytical form in books like the Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So try to understand this great science. This is actually the topmost knowledge. It's beyond anything you'll ever find in any other path or any other school or any other scripture. And try to understand the topmost position of pure devotional service and the topmost knowledge about this pure devotional service, which is being given in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the ocean of the nectar of devotion. Hare Krishna.